What's going on, man? Big Lock TV in the building today. This is Thursday, October 6th, 2022. Man, I'm super excited, man. I got one of my favorite FFLs, Federal Firearms License Dealers, Spirit Arms. We got them in the building today. I'm super excited, man. It's gonna be a great live. Without further ado, I'm gonna present the man, the myth, the legend, Frank from Spirit Arms. Welcome in, Frank.
Hey, what's up, Codarius? How are you, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man.
That's
I'm
good.
I'm, I'm blessed.
Yeah, every day I'm blessed, brother. I feel like I wake up in paradise. We're down here in SoFlo in Palm Beach County, and the palm trees are blowing in the breeze, and it's just this is the best time of year to be here too. Like this time when ain't a lot of snowbirds down yet, so it's like still peace and quiet, before it gets crazy. And it's just the weather just changed a little bit, and it's in the 70s and 80s instead of 80s and 90s. It's really nice. So, my friend, how are you tonight? You good?
Man, I'm good as I can be, man. I'm here. My heart's still pumping, still pounding. So,
Good.
we ain't got no complaints, man. So with that being said, man, I'm happy.
Good. Excellent. So now you told me you wanted to do a show that like featured starting up in an FFL. So I'm sure you got a bunch of questions you want to hit me with. If you want to get this rocking, we can start.
Man, let's get it rocking. Let's get it rolling. For anybody out there in the comment section, any of the viewers out there, if you have any questions, please don't think I'm pulling you out to the side, but just hold your questions or just throw them in there, and we have a segment at the very end of the show where we'll give any and everyone the opportunity to ask Frank, the man, any
Wow.
questions you have. So, man, starting with my first question, man, what exactly is an FFL for anyone who doesn't know out there?
Well, I mean, I guess a lot of people watching your show probably have a clue, but I mean, the whole FFL concept started with the Firearms Act in 1938, where the government decided they mandated that people who were involved in commerce and trade and building and creation of firearms, manufacturing, needed to be federally licensed. So FFL stands for Federal Firearms License. It's also used interchangeably as FFL could be Federal Firearms Licensee. So like I'm a licensee. So technically, when people say I'm an FFL, I am an FFL, even though FFL means Federal Firearms License, it also relates to the licensees. So that's pretty much it. I mean, before that, I'm guessing you could buy, guns and stuff in a candy store, but things are a little different today, as we know. And it's been this way, 80 years now or something like that. So
Man,
that's cool. I hope that answers that question for anybody that wasn't sure. But of course, there's a lot of information. They can go look that up if they want more in-depth, answer for that.
that answers the question. What is an FFL exactly? I appreciate that in detail answer, man.
Hey, no
What
worries.
exactly drove the inspiration to start an FFL?
Wow, this is really interesting. Since I'm a little kid, I've been building things. Like my whole life, I've been building things. My dad owned a cabinet shop when I was a little kid, so like I kind of grew up learning from unbelievable craftsmen, how to make stuff. So I've always had the passion to create. And one day, I just got a bug in my butt that I was going to build my own AR. So when I got the 5D, jig and like everything. I usually try to like make good stuff. I'm not necessarily like making the most expensive things out there, but I want quality.
Right.
So I got the 5D tactical jig because it's supposed to be the best. Went out, got me some 80% lower, and I jigged my own lower, and I was like, wow, I never wanted to do that again. It's like it's 3 hours of Tylenol. It's like just no. I mean, I got the router. I didn't do it with the drill press like some people. I went out and did it right now. I used to own a construction company. I got a lot of tools. I got great chops with tools. So I went out. I got the right jig. I went out. I got the right router, and I put it together. And it came out awesome. So I built this gun. It's an AR-9 rifle. because I like 9mm because at the time I only had a 9mm handgun, and
Right.
me and Tam are roommates, and she's always had 9mm stuff. So it just worked out really good that I would make an AR rifle. So I built the AR rifle. I got this. It's like a battle worn blue finish. It looks really cool. I think it's cool. People like it because when it was done, Tama knew I was doing this, because she used to go to gun shows with me, and at this point, she knows I'm buying parts to build this thing. So she's like, "Wow, you could really sell that. It looks so professional." I said, "Well, thanks." I mean, it's making guns. The thing I love about making guns, as somebody who used to build, I used to build my own components for things. I used to own a jewelry salon. So it was this by appointment jewelry salon where we used to make custom pieces for people. And like me and my partner, he was a goldsmith. We used to make stuff from scratch, brother. I mean, you come in with a stone and say, "Hey, I want you to set this. Can you think of a really cool setting for me?" And I'd come up with something. We give them the whole concept, do the drawings. They approve the drawings. I carve the mold. Like we did all of that stuff. So like I've always had a passion for building things. And the gun part thing was easy for me because everything is mil spec with AR-15, right? So I went out, I just got to buy the parts that I need or want and put them together and make something really cool that, it's like a one of a kind thing. So I really like that. And to me, that was exciting. And then Tam is like really like encouraging me. She's like, that really came out nice. Why don't you, show the guys the work? So I brought some pictures in, showed the guys, and they're like, "Dude, man, I want one of those." I was like, "Wow, you really, really like," because like I'm very self-critical, like I don't ever think my stuff is good enough. And it's not because I think it sucks. It's just because I know I maybe could have done it a little bit better. And the average person is never going to see it. But like, I'm really like hard on myself. I'm a Virgo. So like, we're like that. So anyway.
Virgo too?
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah.
Man, I beat myself up, man. I beat myself up. My wife is like, "Stop doing it. Whatever you did is perfect. It's fine."
Well, it's a blessing and a curse because you know what, man? I honestly live by this. If you never seek perfection, you'll never come close. So like, while I know that only God is perfect and I'm never gonna be perfect, if I don't try, I'm never gonna come close, right? You got to at least try. So that's been my motto for probably 30 years. I've been saying that. So with that, I was a little bit juiced, I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And it kind of, I moved down here to Florida and I was working for a construction company as a project manager. And I really didn't have like a hobby thing because I lost all my tools in the flood, which is like a story that's impossible to believe. But Hurricane Sandy rolled into Long Island when I lived in New York. And I had a garage full of construction tools because I was a contractor, GC. I lost all my tools. So like I came to Florida with pretty much like a box of screwdrivers and, a wrench, to fix my condo, if I needed to fix something under the sink or something, that was about it. So like, it was like, okay, man, I can maybe use this to fulfill my need to like create. Cause like, I always like to build stuff. So that's how it kind of started. And this was like towards the end of 2019, Tama was working at this place and she worked hard, but like she felt a little underappreciated by the boss. And I know what kind of work ethic she has, and we've been roommates for a while. And I was like, you know what? It would be great if you could work from home and you wouldn't have to deal with anybody else's stuff but your own. She's like, well, she used to own a business too. And I said, you own the business, you could do this, Now it sounds a little simplistic, but like when you've had a business and you are responsible for everyday stuff and you know that, hey, hell or high water, man, we got to get this out. Like she literally just did like, I think September taxes were due, so like you got to get it done. And she's the kind of person that does that stuff. With me, I had a business partner up in New York and he always took care of that stuff. And God bless him. Some people are about that. It's just not my forte. And I recognize that that's like a weakness in my, as a business owner, that like I really have zero desire. It's like torture for me to do books, keep records, things like that are really like not my thing. I want to create. I want to see that smile on the customer's face. That's my speed. So I'm telling you, brother, it was almost like this was meant to be. Like I've met somebody who could actually be the part of me that I couldn't be as a business owner. So there's another saying that I want to share with you. And that's, I forget who said it, but he said, if both of us thought the same, one of us wouldn't be necessary, right? Think about that. So like,
Yeah.
if you ever want to have a business partner, that's got to be somebody that completes the things that you don't do, and you got to complete the things that they don't do. So it's like, and I gotta say, man, it's almost like right down the middle. She does her work, I do my work. And I mean, we met because you're a happy customer, and a lot of that is missing today. So, like, for the person who's thinking of being an FFL, if they want to be an FFL and think they're going to make $1 million, good luck. God bless you. If you've got a manufacturing facility, that's probably the only way to make serious money as an FFL. We don't have that here at the ranch. I converted a little part of the garage to do some little gunsmithing stuff in there.
Okay.
But the reality is, I don't even want to do that. Originally the goal was just to have a business so Tama could work from home. I was still working, so it didn't matter to me. I had my gig, but I knew I could do the things that she needed done on a part-time basis until it got busy enough. Well, dude, that was at the end of 2019. We know what happened in 2020. So 2020 rolls around. We started the paperwork in 2019. 2020 rolls around, and I think we opened our business on 2/2/2020 was like the official date. Now, you know what happened at that time, right? The BLM thing was making people crazy going out buying guns. Then COVID hit, and it was just like we went from freaking 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, But for the guys, like, people think, oh wow, you stepped in it, bro. You must have like started killing it. I'll tell you, if I had been in business for 2 years before that and I had some inventory, sure, man. If I got inventory and it's running out everywhere, I'm gold. But bro, we were new. So like we were just starting to build some inventory, but like it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. And, fortunately we were in a place like, I'm retired from raising kids. She's retired from raising kids. All my money isn't going to New York and her money isn't going to Indiana. And at the end of the day, we were like, we didn't need to provide for anybody but ourselves. And we're splitting the expenses in our place here on a little ranch. But, it turns out that like, it does take time to get stuff going, Now you couldn't buy a gun anywhere. And even like, people are like, well, I can't get a gun, but like, you're a dealer, you can get, bro, you couldn't get a gun. Even as an FFL, the stuff wasn't there. So like, I decided, look, I committed for you being able to stay home from work. I said, we're going to find a way to make this happen. Now, Tama takes care of all the social media stuff. It's not one of my things either. And we basically, like, she just started joining groups, and we hooked up with the AR-10 guys who were desperate. That's how you found us, right? I'm telling you, brother, these guys were so desperately in need of parts. Everybody wanted to build an AR-10. And, Matt ran a great forum over there. It got taken down, like everything else they take down. And he had like 20,000 members, and I couldn't even find 2 seconds to sleep. We had customers all over the freaking country. So, because you're on the web, and like, the guys in California and Hawaii, they don't respect like my 11 o'clock, I want to go to bed thing, because they're like,
I don't.
It's the afternoon over there. So like I was literally working 14-hour days, 7 days a week. But, as much as it sucked to have to go through it, that was like the biggest blessing. We suddenly had this giant customer base because we were the ones doing it. Nobody else was doing it. Like, I would call up FFLs to transfer stuff, and they're like, we don't do transfers. I'm like, you're an FFL. You got a brick and mortar, right? And my customer would say, here, this is my FFL. Send it to my FFL. They canceled doing transfers because they couldn't take the overload, man. They didn't have enough people to be doing all these transfers every day. Yeah. So it's like
door. It was 2020 was amazing for gun lines.
It was amazing for guys who had inventory. For us, it was a battle. So like, I went to work. I hooked up so many separate sources that if my distributor didn't have it, I could get it from the manufacturer, because I set up accounts at the distributors and the manufacturers. So if Faxon was out of their, pencil gunner barrels or whatever I
Yeah.
needed for a customer. One of my distributors might have them. So like we always encourage people, please, we got a great website. It's like 30,000 items on our website. This stuff on there, I don't think I'll ever sell because it's like a direct fulfillment site. But if you needed like one thing and it was like a scope or something and it's on the site, you sure buy it off the site, no problem. If you know what you want, you got a question, we always encourage people to call us because this is where Spirit Arms kicks everybody's butt. We give service. I know you know that, but like for people who, I don't want to date myself because that sounds weird, but at the end of the day, like, when I was a kid, bro, customer service was what made a retailer. And the ones with the crappy customer service had no customers. So like, they didn't have to worry about it, but like at the end of the day, like we gave our business to the guys that took care of us. Like I own the construction company with my partner and like, geez, if I could call up and say, hey man, I need a load of this. Can you bring it like this afternoon? Yeah, we got a truck going west, man. We'll take care of you. Why would I buy stuff anywhere else? That dude is willing to help me help my business or solve my problems. Right. So like, the way I looked at it from the customer service point of view was I got to solve these people's problems. So tirelessly, bro, I was literally spending half the day shopping for parts and half the day dealing with customers. And
Yes,
Tam was doing all the paperwork, and it was magical. We'd be sitting in our crib here, and it's like the day would disappear. You eat something, have a glass of water, and sit down and get back on the computer or the phone or whatever, however we're talking to people. So I don't know. I don't know if I answered your question. I don't even remember the question, but I know I got off on a tangent a little bit. But I think that people need to understand, like, yes, if you want to open an FFL, it's great. But if I was going to give someone advice, like, how you can't set yourself apart from anybody with just a website, you're like everybody else. You can't set yourself apart by price because there's Optics Planet. And our prices are in line with Optics Planet, but I'm not going to beat Optics Planet. So like, how are you going to set yourself apart, man? You got to do something that those, who's can't do. So that's how it ended up being. Like we just, she owned a dance studio, my partner Tama, and holy crap, brother. I mean, dealing with like all those parents, parents of kids in any kind of extracurricular activities can be brutal, man. My kids were in martial arts. I know some of the parents were like at odds with the master, but like he handled it great because he had great customer service, but she had all that experience already. And for her, this was like a no-brainer thing. And, you talk to her on the phone, man, I'll send you an invoice. Next thing you check your email, you got your invoice, we take care of it, So I feel like if I was like starting from scratch and I was like, I didn't have a clue and all right, I like guns and, you got to have something that's going to get you involved. The impetus, I think was your question, right? You got to have like 6 months of salary put away. You got to be able to buy inventory, brother. It's tough to just like go from zero to like being an FFL.
And that's okay. So pretty much what you're saying, to jump in this FFL game, you need a little bread in the basket.
You need a little bread in the basket. It's definitely a thing. But the other part is like, if somebody said, hey, how do I start an FFL? My first piece of advice, which is probably the only piece of advice that matters, is get with your local ATF guys. And now a lot of people in the gun industry, they see, you say ATF and they see that picture of the guy like peeking over the fence with the ATF. Yeah. Like that's the automatic thing. So like, bro, we're down here in Palm Beach County, and look, I'm in South Florida. Everyone down here is pretty chill, But like our ATF dudes are so cool, man. And it's like they want to help you. But the truth is, they're the only guys that are going to be able to give you guidance in your area. Like the dudes out in California, it's not like an FFL over here. It's completely different animal. So. It's a whole separate set of guidelines. It definitely is regionally state oriented. Like, you need to know how you're going to get your business license, which municipality you got to apply to, you got to pay all the fees. You're not doing this to make money. I'm telling you right now, if I needed to make money, if I still had 2 kids in college, I'm not doing this business. I'm doing this business because it got my friend out of having to go to work. And in turn, when stuff went down the crapper because of COVID and we couldn't do jobs anymore, until everything got squared away, I was easily able to walk because we already had some business,
Yeah.
But it's not like just from like zero to doing this. You definitely got to have 6 months of salary in the bank and a chunk of change to be able to buy inventory, because it's tough to sell stuff you don't have,
Man.
And we did some of that. We did, like, there was a time when like everybody was buying Aero parts and everybody needed rails, and Aero, I mean, those dudes, they're brilliant. I'm not saying I agree with some of the stuff they do, but like they were busting out lowers because they're lower. You couldn't keep lowers in the shop, So the
Right.
lowers are flying out of here, but they weren't making the rails to go with the lowers, right? And
Right.
so many people bought those enhanced ones and they couldn't get the matching rail, and they were the only ones that made it. So like what Aero did was they got a bunch of customers and then they had them hooked because they're the only ones making the rails. So,
Right.
if you think about how that rolls, I understand their logic and their reasoning, because our Aero reps, thank God, brother, we've always had great reps. But our Aero reps, they wouldn't even call. They wouldn't say, "Hey, Frankie, I got these rails in, man." No, I'd have it on a list in their database, and as soon as they got 3 of these FDEs in 15-inch and 2 of the S1s in black, as soon as that stuff came in, I didn't have to be sitting there on the computer. Oh, is it in yet? Is it in yet? Is it in? No, they would just order it for me. I didn't even have to call. They had my credit card on file and they'd order it. It goes right on my account. And next thing I know, I'm calling the customer and saying, "Hey, bro, I got your rail." And they're like, "Dude, how'd you do that?" But you know what? If you didn't take everybody's order and into consideration, you can't just sit there and order 10 things that nobody wants,
With that being said, Frank, you said you started in 2019.
We
Is that
started the
mean
process. Yeah,
you
we
started
started
the process in 2019? You got certified in 2022. With
no
that being
2020.
said, 20, I'm
2020.
sorry, 2020.
Yeah.
With that being said, from 2020 to today, 2022, what's been the difference between starting in the heat of a pandemic to right in the midterms of
Yeah.
elections and presidential swaps, or what's the difference between those 2 years, man?
Unbelievably, for us, the difference was tremendous because, like I already kind of intimated, we didn't have inventory going in. So for us, it was a mad scramble in the beginning because the demand was so high, the inventories were so low, and we were stepping and fetching, brother. There's no better way to say it. We were just trying to get everything we could to make those customers happy. And we did take deposits on things that if we didn't have it, we told you we didn't have it. Okay. But we'd also say, "Look, I got this on order. It's as soon as the next batch," like my rep would tell me, "Man, hey, next batch in, you got your stuff." So like we were honest with people, but we did ask them to commit. Now I really don't have to do that anymore. Now it's like, okay, most of my suppliers, like one of our customers this past week, he wanted this really cool pistol barrel for 5.56, 5.9 inches. And it's a great product made by one of my favorite companies down here in Florida, SOT. And these guys make this angled gas port, which like siphons the gas like way smoother than like a regular 90-degree gas system, right? Like in everybody's AR. So he wanted that. I was like, "Those are my boys. I'll order it for you." And I ordered it. I got it in. Tama called him today. It's like, I don't need to take deposits on stuff. Like it was crazy for a while there. Like you needed to do that just because like I knew that I was buying so many parts for people that it was crazy. Like we would have got stuck with things if like millions of dollars worth of stuff, if they didn't, if they found it somewhere else first or something. Now it's way, way cooler than that. And I don't want to work that way. I don't want to feel like I'm asking for stuff that like, I felt bad asking them to commit, but I'm like, "Guys, I'm putting in the time and making sure you get this."
Man.
Now, we still do it once in a while on certain things. If somebody wants a special thing, yeah, all right, I'll make sure they're like, "Okay, you really want it, put a couple of bucks down and we'll wait. I think we did your first rifle that way, right? You bought the lower and then you bought the upper, right? And you paid it off, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
The amazing process, man, because like you said, Tama found me on a Facebook group. I had no complete idea who you guys were, what type of representation you cared about yourself, but just one phone conversation on the phone with you, and I felt a genuine connection and vibe. And I said, forget it, send them $50. Tama sent me an invoice. This process continued on for about 6 weeks.
Something at least, yeah.
And the thing is, during these 6 weeks, I didn't have a job. I
Uh-huh.
didn't have a permanent 9 to 5. I was working, just little handyman jobs, little side hustles, anything I could. And any extra tips I had, I sent it over to Frank. Y'all sent me an invoice, and look, like that's my wife right there. Timing was perfect with you guys. Y'all came right in time, and I paid the $450 for the 308 lower. Next thing you know, it was at my doorstep. I mean, it was at my FFL.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't come to my door. It went to my FFL.
That's true.
And the same process with my upper, man. So with that being said, man, what is your favorite thing about what you do as an FFL, man?
Well, I swear to you, man, people think this is hokey and they sometimes think I'm full of crap. But I get a real kick out of like helping people get to that place, because like I know, like I think back to all the times somebody either get through advice or assistance or something, opportunity, gave me a chance to do something that I might not have had a chance to do, or the knowledge to do something that I might not have had the knowledge, or for whatever reason, they gave me a shot at something. And I always felt like, wow, it'd be great to be able to do that for other people. When I mean, you don't have kids yet, but when you're raising kids, man, it's like, all your resources go to your children, and you wouldn't have it any other way. I always said to myself, wow, one day, man, I'd like to freaking give back to some of these people that have just been so wonderful, helping us out. So it's always been my heart to do that. And this is an opportunity where like, geez, like we get to play, I'm like, sometimes I feel like the crack dealer, but I like to think of it as the candy man, right? But like we get to be the candy man, like, and Tam is like this too, man. I mean, God bless that soul. What she does for people, like she's so giving, and
Right.
it's very easy to stay this way when I know that she's watching, because like she's like, do the right thing. So like we don't ever want to not make the customer happy, and and it brings us pleasure. So like people say, oh yeah, that's bullshit, man. You just want to make some money. Man, I'll tell you right now, I can make a lot more money in a couple of days working for any of my friends who need like a part-time project manager or something
Right.
than I can busting my butt for the small margins. Like people say, oh, firearms must be a great business. Brother, I wouldn't recommend this business for someone who needs money. It's not. If you're manufacturing, like I know Aero Precision makes money. I
Right.
know, Ballistic Advantage makes money. I know these companies make money. They're making their own products. So they're taking the raw material. And if they got it all set up and they're doing it efficiently, which so many of them are, because they got CNC machines and robotics and all this other stuff, very efficient. Yeah, they spent the money to get it there, but they're making tons of money because of their infrastructure. But I don't
Right.
I don't begrudge them that. Very few people could do what they do, and they do it very well. So they deserve to make money. This is America, man. You work hard, you put stuff in play, and if it's a good product, the Americans reward you with their business, right? But
That's
like,
all.
but somebody who's just reselling stuff, no, you're not going to make money doing this like, a really cush living. Thankfully, we don't need that. I'm not in that place now where I'm, like I said, raising kids, spending money, buying things. Dude, simple life. Well, it's funny. Tama bailed early on us tonight because she gets up with the chickens, man. She loves her chickens, but she's got a chickens and a gun business, and that's what she does, and she's happy with that. So God bless us. We're just like, it's an awesome setup, man. So it's finding the part for the guy that couldn't find the part, and
Right.
it sucks because like we get a lot of our customers that way. They're like, I'm their last resort. So it's like, no, you got to call me first. Don't make me the last resort. I try to tell them that. I'm like, we had a referral the other day from a customer in Missouri. And he found a guy on a forum that we're not even on this forum. He found a guy on a forum that was looking for a Criterion barrel. And the guy's like, oh, Criterion doesn't have it, man. I really want that barrel, 18-inch, 308, hybrid, whatever it was. And the guy, my customer, sends Tam a text, and he's like, hey, this guy on this forum is looking for this barrel. I know you guys always have stuff that's, sometimes impossible to find. So maybe you have it. So she's like, okay, if it's cool, ask him if it's cool. If he wants to contact us, tell him to call us, because I'm pretty sure I have it. So the guy calls us, and he's in Nebraska. So we're in Palm Beach. My customer's in Missouri. This guy's in Nebraska, but because of the magic of the internet, this guy calls us up. She's like, yeah, how many do you want? He's like, you have it? She's like, yeah, we have it. So he comes to us at the last minute, but guess what? Now he's like, oh, I want to get the BCG and the gas system from you guys. That's what I would love if people would call us with the easy stuff also. Unfortunately, we find them after, we get the customer after they bang their head against the wall 1,000 times and couldn't find this thing they want. And then they become a great customer, which is awesome. So, I honestly believe that the 80-20 rule is a real thing. People, people who are in business know this. 80% of your business comes from 20% of the population. So the buying public is not everybody's into guns. So that eliminates a bunch of people, and then you got some people that are only 100% price shoppers, and they're gonna wait on the Optics Planet website until that part is on sale and a super bonus and free everything and 5 free gifts on the side. You're never going to compete for that business because I can't. We don't have that type of room to be able to make 3 cents on a product like Optics Planet could do. So those people you're never going to get. But 20% of the public really wants good service. 20% of the public is going to buy 80% of their parts from us because they know they're going to get that, and they're not getting overcharged. We never sell anything, even during COVID, bro. When stuff was going on Gunbroker for 3 days.
I'm a witness to it, man.
I
ask you for something. You simply charge me what they would have charged me on their website.
Right.
And I know that FFL's company get that little discount because they're actually the ones, distributing the product.
Right.
And you could have took that opportunity and ran with it. You could have took the opportunity and price gouge like we've seen many people do with bullets. You could have price gouge like we've seen many people do with guns. And myself, I am a victim of the 2020 price gouge on guns. When you couldn't find a Glock, forcing you to look at other things, SIG, Springfield, Smith.
Forcing you to look at SIG. All right, if I gotta call you Big Glock, you gotta call me Biggs Ig. I wrote that on the arrow box.
Hey, I got plenty. You sent me plenty of them, man. Oh man, but I say that to say when I went to my gun store to look for a Glock, I really had my eyes set on a Glock. I was upgrading from from a Smith & Wesson self-defense value enhanced 40.
Uh-huh.
And if anyone knows the trigger on that is not to be desired.
Like a piece of wood, brother.
Right, man. It can be upgraded with an Apex trigger. Shout out Apex Tactical. But going from that to a SIG and wanting a Glock and couldn't find one, I paid $740 for my SIG P320 M18. Wow. And that same gun now is about $550. You can't pick them up, Frank. No, you can't. No 2A on you can't pick them up. You can show us, but you can't pick them up.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
You fine, man. Look, they kick us out. We'll start it over and we'll.
Oh God, man. I hope not. I wish I'd have known that. I never would have done that.
Hey, look, man. Hey, that's on me. It's my first interview, and I could have wrap that up with you, but it's all good, man. Trust and believe.
But parts are okay. Like if I got a part,
If you got a part that doesn't look like a firearm, I think you should be good. I might be wrong here.
well, let's hope not. Because I mean, I'm not trying to interrupt your interview, but we're running a contest on our Facebook page. It's not really a contest. It's like a raffle, but free. So it's for a CMC trigger, and it's a Halloween giveaway because Pam is into Halloween, man. She's like a white witch. So she loves her Halloween. So we've done this before. We gave away a trigger a couple of years ago. We gave away a beautiful Timney impact trigger. And this year, bro, it's okay if I show a picture of one?
Yeah, man. Almost definitely. You can show the trigger all day.
So here you go. So we're going to give the winner a choice.
Push them up to the camera so let the world see these beautiful triggers, man.
Yeah, and this is like a match grade, CMC match grade trigger. But of course, it's zombie green for Halloween, right? So you get a choice of a flat or a curved. And that's going to be in the contest. And what we're doing, because you know what, man? Like I said, we like to give back and we like to help people. And I'm very impressed with you as a young man who's got your stuff together. And so we're including you in the giveaway. Obviously, I want people to see your channel. I believe you're going to be successful, and I'm willing to support that. I'm willing to put my mouth where my money is.
Man, I appreciate it.
So the point is, so people gotta sign up on our. It's a like and subscribe thing, whatever the heck it's called. I don't even know. But they got to ring your bell thing or whatever it is, and on your page, and they do it on our site, and then just write "done" in like Tama. I think she stickied a contest thing at the top of our Facebook page. Yeah. So you just write "done" in there, and then they'll be entered in the drawing. And the first year we did that, I think it was 2 years ago. I forgot what we did last year, but it was 2 years ago. And the dude who won was this guy from Indiana. Super cool guy. And she's, man, it's like, I hate to sound corny, but these people become our friends, So like he bought a ton of stuff after that because he's like, oh, why would I buy from anybody else? You guys are the best. And I'm not tooting my horn. I'm a very humble person. But, the truth is, like, we try to do stuff that's going to make people want to buy from us. Would you buy from this guy? I mean, come on.
Right, Johnny, would y'all buy from the fake Johnny Depp?
Uh-oh. So the point is, like, so I don't know, it all kind of ties into the FFL thing, but it's really about just really advice for any business, man. If you're not giving the service, you don't expect people to call you back the next time they need that, whatever it was. Like we've all been skunked. Like, how you feel about that guy who you paid $300 too much for a gun at his place. Like, how you feel about that. And right. At the end of the day, that's not something you're going to forget, So, they say, people will always remember how you made them feel. And it's funny because they won't remember the words you say, but they'll remember how they felt about the words you say. And it's true. So, like, I might sound like like I'm quoting a lot of stuff, but these are all things that you kind of have to live by because there's a reason why old wives' tales exist. It's because back then they did it that way and it worked, So, like, if you're going to start any business, man, throw away the ego, take care of the customer, do your best, work hard. My guys used to say, I remember when I was a kid, they used to say, do good work and the money will follow. That's what they said. And it's, and it still applies today. So, whether you sell any kind of widgets you're selling, it doesn't even matter, man. You can, you could be selling boxes of soap. It doesn't matter. The fact is, do good work, and show the customer you care and call them back and answer the PMs and texts and things, like don't set it up and then ignore it. It ain't gonna work.
That's what sets Spirit Arms apart from anybody else. And honestly, man, I can say if your business has something and another business had it for a little bit less, I probably go to you just based off the experience I had with you and the fact that I have your personal cell phone number. And if you don't always pick up my calls, but you damn sure always return them. And what more can you ask from someone that you trust in your dollar with? And that's amazing, man. With that being asked, man, at any point throughout your licensing journey, man, have you wanted to stop, give it up?
Well, here's the thing. So now I'm not at the point in my life where I'm looking to set the world on fire. I don't need tons of money, and I kind of like the idea that, unlike when I was young, and I mean, me and my partner worked hard. We had guys that worked with us, but when we busted it every day, and my body's busted up from it. Construction is hard on your body. I played high school lacrosse, pickup football, old frisbee football, all kinds of crazy shit when we were kids, and we beat our bodies up with sports, and then we did construction right after that, and it's like, 25, 30 years of that beats you up. So the fact that I can do something like this and know that I can work from the couch if I need to, or from a remote place, like, once in a while I go up to the Northeast to see my kids, I can still do business, help people, and I call it, Tam, can you send this guy such and such? I just, he needs one of these. So it's kind of like, I don't know that I'd ever, unless things grossly changed and it didn't make sense to do this anymore. I doubt that I would ever let this go. It's kind of a good business because you can grow old with it, and do it when you feel like it. Like, we go to gun shows, brother, and there's dudes that, they got one foot on the banana peel, they fart dust, and they're still out there selling polymer and steel, And I'm like, these guys could do it, and they look like hell, like they got run over. If those guys could still like strap on the oxygen tank and get their butts to the show and set up a table, I think I'll be able to, man. So like, at least if God lets me, I'm willing to do it, So like, this is the kind of thing where, like, you could do this business, and there are a lot of businesses like that, but there are a lot of businesses that aren't. But this one, I could definitely do this, until I'm as long as I want to. So I don't think I would let it go on purpose. And I don't think I would let it go unless it just suddenly didn't make sense anymore, So no, I don't see that happening in the near term, but I've heard people make, statements and then change later. But like, conditions change in life. So sometimes,
Amen.
Yeah, it can happen.
Man, with that being said, man, you really doing the work of an angel. Because you're coming in with tools, parts, you helping guys with barrels, you helping guys like me with layaways, and just speak on the layaway situation real quick for my viewers, man. Just is that just something you offer to me, or because you like my smile, or is there something, man, that you can work out with just anyone as long as they make payments?
Brother, you got a great smile, and it's definitely the reason we did it for you.
Oh shit.
No, seriously, very nice of you to reference being an angel. Honestly, there's two trails you can leave behind you: a trail of shit or a trail of smiles. And at the end of the day, it's every day you wake up, it's up to you to decide what it's going to be. And we've all been guilty of going both ways, right? With that, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, I love helping people, and if you consider that being angelic, I'll take it. But at the end of the day, of course, if somebody comes to, like, we just had this, one of our old customers, nice kid, he built an AR like 2 or 3 years ago, and we helped him out with getting parts and stuff. And it was his first gun, and we had to wait until he was old enough to buy it. It's like he started the process of putting money down before he was even old enough to buy it in his state, right? So we helped him out back then, and he called us and he wanted an M18, right? And he's going to pay it off on layaway and give us a small deposit. And sure, I got it in so he would have it. Because look, no matter what, even though stuff is more accessible now, gun companies are going to do a run. Okay. So like, if they got their jig set up to make 320s today, it's hard to order a 365 if they're making 320s today. So like, I got to order the 320 when I can get it. And then when the customer wants it, I'll have it for him, versus, hoping it'll be back in stock later. So, right. I mean, and it happens, brother. I've been trying to get a 398, a 938. I'm sorry for somebody. We can't get a 938. And like, the SIG 938 was like the original SIG carry, micro carry. It's a beautiful little gun. It's like a mini 1911, stunning gun. It's Tama's favorite. She's got one. She loves it. And like my UPS driver's got one. It's a great little carry. And then the 365 happened, right? But so now because they're making so many 365s, dude, I can't get a 938 for this. I think I said a 398. I'm sorry, 938, P938. So I can't get one for this customer because they don't even make them right now.
Okay.
It's not like they'll never make them again. They didn't say that, but they're like, we're not making those right now. So yeah, okay. So I almost don't want to, like, if the opportunity comes to get one for this guy, I'm going to call him and say, bro, throw us $100 deposit. I'll get it for you. If you don't have the money, it's okay. When it comes around, I'll have it though. And that's so like it kind of, it's very hard to do some of this without some people thinking you're trying to sell them a song and a dance. We're so used to like going on Amazon and getting it in 2 minutes. The gun industry isn't really like that. There are things you can get that way, but for the longest time you couldn't get a Taurus G2 or G2C or a G3C or any of them because they didn't have them, brother. And that's like it's a great entry level 9.
Yes,
it won gun of the year, I think in 2019. I think one of those, 2019 or 2020, one handgun of the year. I think it's a great, and it's value priced, and it's a great dependable rig. But you couldn't get them for over a year. Like I got them on want lists at every distributor we work with, and none of them got them in. So the gun industry can be that way, So it sounds like I'm trying to sell somebody, like I'm trying to hook them, like, yo, give me a deposit and I'll get it for you. But that's not it.
Good product, good service. It prevails. It prevails every time, man. And I'm not in this business to lie. I'm not in this business to kiss butt. When I see good people, man, I want to let other people know these are great people, and I hope people will trust my word and believe in me. But man, I believe in Spirit Arms, man, because don't you have my Zostava M92?
It's sitting here waiting for you to pay it off, brother.
So my Z-Pep is at his house. Because I watched the gun go from 800 to 1,000. When I saw it go up $200, I called Frank. I said, Frank, can you get me that Zostava before anything else happens to the price? He said, man, I'm gonna look it up. We're gonna lock it in. And if he found it, man, he found the Zostava with the Picatinny on the back and the Picatinny up front for your for scopes. Man, 1,000. What was it? 1,109.
I don't remember, brother, because honestly, too many numbers to remember with every gun price. But I'm sure you were shopping and you knew that it was a fair price at the time, and
right.
And we picked it up and we bought it for you, knowing that you've been a good customer, you're a solid dude, and we love your smile too. So,
hey man, with that being said, man, one of my viewers had this question, man. What's the layaway length though? Because
it really kind of depends on man, it's really hard to say. I kind of take it on a customer by customer basis, not because like we're choosing one kind of situation over another, but every situation is a little different. And like if it's a high ticket thing, I kind of want to get like, you could start laying away, but I want to get like at least half of it in the bank before I go and buy this thing, because I'm still going to be in the hole. There is the profit margin on guns sucks. So you got to understand that like we're putting money out. I'm acting like a bank when I do this for someone. So like, all right, for instance, we got a fella that wanted ATN nods, right? The night goggles. And they're like, I don't know, they were like $4,000 or something for the ones he wanted. And Tam has set up a layaway with him, and he's been paying off like 100, 150, 100, 150. And we called ATN because we got an account with them. We're like, is he going to have this model for a while? It's not going to disappear, right? Will I be able to get it when this guy gets to like at least half? I don't want to wait till he's all the way paid off. I want to get it for him when he's reasonably invested in the process. But at the end of the day, I don't want to lay all like $4,000 out until he decides to finish paying something off. We got customers that, and people are people, so it's not like it used to be your word was worth a lot more than it is today. A lot of people are happy to walk away from a situation.
Right.
And I've never been like that. I don't really appreciate that. But at the end of the day, if it's something I know I could sell again, so like a lot of it is about what the gun is. If you want some weird ass thing that nobody ever buys, sheesh, I'd like you to put some money down so I know you're going to take it because I don't want to get stuck with something that sucks,
Right.
But, I had a customer in California. He was buying a 365X and he didn't know it had 12 round magazines. The model he picked had 12 round magazines, right?
Man, he can't have it.
Then he can't have it. So meanwhile, he bought it. Now, Tama's she's punching in numbers. She's not checking all what the specs are for the gun. She's assuming that somebody who lives there and did their homework and they know what they're getting, right?
Right.
He couldn't get the gun. His FFL would not accept the transfer, right? Because she sets it all up. Now, California is a weird bird, brother, because you got to literally call the California DOJ and request a number, a transaction number. I forget if it's called that or something. But in order to send a gun from one FFL into California, we have to request a number from their Department of Justice.
Damn.
I'm telling you, brother, this is why people don't want to send stuff to California. But we're not going to do that to a customer because they're unfortunate enough to live in California,
Yeah.
So we, she does that stuff and she honestly didn't even think about it because it's just a simple mistake. So the guy couldn't get the gun. And he's like, oh, I feel really bad. When I move, he's moving to a better state soon because he's getting out like everybody else. He's getting the heck out of there. So he's like, when I move, I'll buy it then. I was like, you know what, brother, don't even worry about it. I said, I know I'm going to sell that gun. I'm not worried about that. That's like the number one handgun in the country, the 365. So in that particular case, I literally I told the guy, I said, look, you were talking about maybe getting a rifle. Why don't you put your deposit money on a rifle and pick the rifle you want? I'll get you that. And that's what he did. So like, it's a different scenario for every person's got a different story, So like we try to, I want to hear a little bit of your story and see like what your plan is. Like, hey, I can give you $100 a month or $200 a month. Everybody's, depends on, it really depends. But yeah, we're happy to do it, especially for good people. Like we love arming our fellow citizens, man. It's like, this is the Second Amendment, bro. This is our right to do this. And we are really happy to be able to be part of that process because I believe an armed society is a peaceful society.
Man, you ain't never lied, Frank, man. With there being thousands, hell, might even be millions of FFLs all across the United States.
Thousands.
It's on the thousands?
Yeah.
Oh shit, what's down? Hey, that's why I got you.
That's all right, man.
You're gonna inform me. You're gonna keep me straight, man. But with there being thousands of FFLs across the United States, what can you tell my viewers that set Spirit Arms apart from the rest?
Well, I mean, we kind of went over some of it. I believe that they're not going to call, let's see, I don't know, pick up Primary Arms and get somebody to say, hey, man, did you want a black one of those or is Coyote or FDE okay? You're not going to get that, okay? You're going to get somebody who cares about what you're doing. I'm going to say, hey, send me a picture of your lower, man. Let me see what kind of upper we can put on that, we got customers that come in and they buy like, oh my God, brother, I had this great guy, the nicest dude, man. I felt so bad for him. He bought something during pandemic. The company that makes it stopped making it. They sold their mold or their CNC program for this to another company. It's got proprietary pins. He didn't order the pins because they didn't say, hey, if you buy our receiver set, make sure you get the proprietary pins. So this guy is like, oh, can you help me out, man? I'm stuck. I can't put this thing together because the pins don't work. I'm like, okay. So I did all the legwork, for a $20 set of pins to help somebody who was basically screwed because he didn't know what to do. And I found him at I've talked to the guys at I forget, it was Tactical Machine, I think. Don't quote me. I'm on the air, right? So you don't matter. I think it was Tactical Machine did this. And they sold it to a different company. And that company bought the rights to that product. And I called up their dealer services division, and somebody very nice over there helped me out, and I got the right pins. But this guy was losing his mind because he's like, it's not mil spec, bro. It's an AR-10. They're not mil spec. But like people don't know that. So like, I found a lot of people making those kind of mistakes, especially because a lot of guys who will buy an AR-10s, with the DPMS and the other types and styles and
Right.
the high profile and the low profile Picatinis and everything. It's a different ball of wax. So you would have more problems with stuff like that. And we liked helping people, get to the place. And I totally lost. I forget where the question was going. I'm sorry. I totally.
Man, you fine, man. Because what the question was, what set you guys?
Oh, what sets you apart? Yeah. Well, like they're not going to do that for you, brother.
No, man. Because honestly, I called and I was asking. I was like, man, I'm looking at an AK. Should I buy it? And I told you the name of the company. We're not going to release that company.
Okay.
But if you told me to stay away from them, man, and you just let me know that Zostable was a better company, man, and I feel you, man. That's great that you can let me know, like, hey, man, it's your money. You told me you can do what you want to do with it, man. But hey, if you really want something a little bit better, and it wasn't like you was trying to upsell me, you was really just genuinely looking out for my future interests. Because what's the quote? Buy once, cry once.
Yeah, that's a fact. And it's funny. I don't trash talk any of the gun companies. No. But if I hear something that like, and I know what my customers looking for, and it's like, if I hear something about that company or that product, in this case, I would say, look, I don't, and I can give you a classic example from somebody else too. Right now, it just popped into my head. I don't necessarily think this is what you're looking for. Here's a company that's been around for 150 years, Zastava, right? I said, and if it's an AK, I have no problem selling Eastern European stuff, man. Normally, I like to sell all American things, but if it's an AK, it's an AK, man. They own that shit, So, like, that's their thing. So why not get it from a company that's been building them for 150 years, So to me, it made sense. Even though the AK hasn't been around, they've been around as a gun company, So, like, they know their product and they know what they're doing. So that's why I suggested that. I had another customer call me up, and he was building a pistol. And he sends me this picture. Hey, Frankie, can you get me this? I said, let me check for you, brother. I don't recognize it. So I'm not sure, who's got it, but I will help you find it. So, because he just sent me a picture. So I looked at it and I called up a company that I found out who made it. And it was a California company. And I won't say the name. And I go, it says you're in partnership with some Eastern companies. I said, like, where's your stuff manufactured? He goes, well, we sell everything in the United States. You're buying a United States product, but yes, it's manufactured in the East. I go, can you define the East? Because I go, I live in Florida. There's nothing east of me but the Atlantic Ocean, So he's like, well, it's made in China. I said, all right, thank you very much for your time. I'll call you back if the customer wants it. I'll order it. Right. So I called the customer. I said, brother, I don't know if you know this, but that's really not an American product. And I forget if he was ex-military or Leo. And I kind of had a feeling he just wouldn't want it if he was Chinese. So I didn't want to just get it for the sake of getting a sale, so that I would have somebody say to me, why didn't you tell me it was Chinese? Like, we don't even sell Chinese stuff. Like, if you didn't specifically ask for it, I didn't go looking for it. I didn't even know it was Chinese because it's a California company. Turns out it was a Chinese product. So, like, I kind of look out for people that way too, because I know none of my customers want that stuff on their guns. One of the guys, just a recent dude, man, really nice fella, ex-military, and he's like, my friend told me to get these KSI magazines for the to run in my as a Glock replacement, a Glock size magazine, 19 or 17, whatever it was.
Right.
And I said, well, okay, you know what? I've never seen KSI on any of my dealer lists. I said, let me look it up for you. And if I can get them for you, just tell me how many rounds you want. I'll order them, because he was coming to pick up some other stuff, and I was going to have him here for him when he came to pick it up. So I look up KSI and the K stands for Korea, right? So I called him back and I said, bro, I said, if you want this product because your friend's got it and he says it's good, I can't tell you not to get it. And I can get it for you because I found someone that I can get it from. I said, but honestly, I just want you to know that the K stands for Korea. And again, I got nothing wrong with Koreans. My kids are both masters in Taekwondo, man. I've been around Koreans my whole life, you know. I said, but at the end of the day, I don't think this guy wants a gun part that's made in Korea on his Ruger PC9, right? So, and he was like, yo, no, definitely I don't want that, man. So I forget if we got him, which ones we got him. The clear ones. I can't remember the name of the company now. But anyway, so we got him those instead, and he's happy, you know. But like, I'll point it out. I never want to tell someone what to do with their money. But at the end of the day, there's things that I know you might not want to get if you kind of knew the whole story. And if I could share that information, I owe it to you to do that. Whereas I find that most guys will just sell it to you. You know?
Yeah, we appreciate you for being honest, man. Me doing what I do with handyman work, I could charge you $130 to hang a TV. But man, I charge an affordable rate that once the customer goes in their wallet, they look at the product, they look at the service, they realize, wow, he did an amazing job and he only did it for 80. That makes the customer think about me in the future, and that customer wants to call me back. That customer wants to invite me back in their home because one, I did a great job. Two, I didn't smash them over their head with what I could have did. And I think, man, that's we missing people like that out here in life, man. So we want to appreciate you. We want to give you your flowers and tell you thank you for being a modest and a honest human being. I know you guys sell firearms, and it seems like a lot of your focus is on parts. Can you expand on that a little bit with my customers? I mean, with my viewers?
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Like I told you, the way the industry was when we got in, we almost, if we didn't do parts, we couldn't sell anything because there was no guns on any shelves, right? So because we got into the business at the time when that was the only thing we could do for people, we kind of morphed into that. It wasn't even the goal. I mean, the goal was like, oh man, because I remember when I used to make jewelry and like we'd make these one-of-a-kind pieces and they would take a long time to create and I'd sell it. And let's say it was a theme piece, like it was a theme piece for a huge stone that, I'm never going to make this piece again. The person was like into some stuff and I incorporated it into the theme and they wanted to have a waterfall and I created this thing, or they wanted something organic and it was a giant snail. Like I could make those things with my own hands. Hard for me to do now. I don't see as good as I used to, but like I could carve little tiny things, brother. And we make these beautiful pieces. I mean, we'd sell like $10,000, $12,000 pieces, like really beautiful stuff, 18 karat platinum, really nice high end, custom, not costume jewelry, right? So with that, you feel like you did all this work, but you're only going to make one person happy. With the gun parts, the more I learn about gun parts, the easier it is for me to be able to help a lot of people with the same problem. Invariably, if one person can't figure out what to use in this situation, there's two people that can't. And if it's two, there's 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 100. So like once we solve some problems for people, now that's like in our bank, our knowledge bank. So the next time somebody comes to me, geez, we got the answer for them, or we got a better solution. Like if they come to me for this, I offer them this. And I say, look, you can have that. I can order for you. We'll have it here tomorrow. I have this other one in stock. I'm not telling you to get it, but I'm saying it does the same exact job, costs a little bit less. It's really cool part, works great, comes in the color you want, if you wanted an accent color or something. And, if I could save you some money, this happens a lot with, we sell a lot of Magpul, brother. I love Magpul products. Love. I think we put a Magpul on your rig, right? Didn't we?
Yeah. I got the Magpul SLR, I believe.
That looks like a boot, right? You said you like
look like the UGG boot. Look
like an UGG boot, exactly. That was what you wanted, the UGG boot. I remember that. So like I love Magpul, and we're Magpul. We sell all Magpul parts, tons of Magpul stuff, all the magazines and everything. and I love their stocks are great. But that PRS stock, man, it's like, it's a couple of bones plus, so it's like $250, and then you got the really nice Luft, right? So Luft makes the MBA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, and 5. I think I don't think there's a 2 or a 4, but so Luft makes this product. It's adjustable in all the ways the Magpul is. Got the cheek weld, got the whole shebangy, right? And it's like $80 less expensive, So we keep the PRS. It's like if you go to the gun show, I'll have the PRS and I'll have the Luft also. Everybody knows Magpul, so everybody comes if they're looking for that kind of, like, it's usually a long range gun. They want the extra adjustability, they want the PRS. We sell a lot of PRS. I love the product. Customers love the product. I only want to sell stuff people love because I don't want the headache of something coming back because it sucks, right? I don't want to make an excuse for a company if their product sucks. So we sell good products on purpose. So, but then I also realized that, Luft makes great products. It's a little less expensive. It does everything the PRS does, except it doesn't say Magpul on it. Some people want the name. Some people want the function. So I offered as an option, and they're like, wait a minute, hold on. And I got them both on the table, and they're like, oh, wait, that adjusts here. Everything, pulls out, turns this stuff. It's got 100 different things you can customize your fit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and a lot of people buy the Luft for that reason. I don't shit talk Magpul. Hell no. Their product kicks ass.
Yep.
Like, if I can offer you an option, because look, I see people, everybody's got a budget, bro. Donald Trump has a budget. Sylvester Stallone has a budget. These guys, everybody has a budget. It's not always the same for everybody, but like, somebody's got to feed their kids. They're like, oh, I save $80, man. I can put that, I can buy a nice chicken dinner, So this is where I'm happy to offer, and I don't want to say it's expertise, but like, I do this, so I see more stuff than the average person. Some of our customers are extremely knowledgeable. They'll come and they'll know all the details about every part, and God bless them for that. Sometimes I don't even know half the stuff they're talking about. I'm like, wow, man, you're really well versed in this, but like, but there's other guys that they really don't know, and I don't want to bend them. Not that I'm bending them over. I'm not. They ask for a PRS. I have it. They buy it. Done, but I will give them an option, because if the money's more important to them and they can save it and have all the same features, why not?
Right.
So that's the kind of stuff we try to do. When I was a project manager, I worked for a huge corporation up in New York, and we had this little kind of thing called value engineering, where like the customer is over budget by $3 million on this $60 million building, right? So they're like, wow, how are we going to burn 5% off the price of this building? It's not easy to do sometimes, because they need certain things. They need the right size power plant. They need the right size everything to run the building, right?
Right.
So we would do value engineering, and it didn't mean that they were getting crap. It just meant that we would tweak some things, go with bamboo flooring instead of hardwood. Like, there were ways to give them the same function, the similar look, things like that just cost less. So
not cheap.
Not
affordable.
Cheap. Exactly. Just, it provided value. You still got the completed building, beautiful floors, but they're not oak, they're bamboo. Is there anything wrong with bamboo? Hell no. Bamboo's harder than oak. People don't even know that, but it scratches easier. So like, there's trade-offs. But we explain that to them and say, look, you could save $3 a square foot if we switch to this. And then most of the time they did, because if they're coming to me with the problem, and we have a solution, they usually jump on it. Again, I don't care which one you buy. I will help you either way, but I will offer you the option to save you some money.
Yeah, man. I can say, man, when you didn't leave me stranded, even after my purchase, after I got my lower for the 308, and then after I got the Ballistics Advantage 18-inch barrel. Yeah. I went to the range, and for anyone out there who doesn't know, AR-10s or LR 308s or 6.5s, they have a stage where you have to figure out what that gun likes. Whether it's, you properly lubing the bolt carrier, the buffer tool, whether it's using a heavier grain bullet, whether it's simple things like changing out the magazines. That whole 308 deal can be mind-boggling. And I can say, Frank, man, you was a phone call away to let me know, hey, I trust the product and I trust you that you can figure it out, man. I don't believe anything is wrong, but here's some things that you may want to look at. And with 308 or 65 or just running that platform AR10, man, you can run into all kind of issues.
Yeah. And you got the arrow. You got the arrow upper, right?
Yeah, I got the arrow precision upper, man.
Now the arrow upper, for people who don't know, does not come with an adjustable gas block.
No, it does not.
So it takes one of the equations. Well, it takes one of the options out of the equation. So I can't tell my customer. And you called me from the range. I mean, I was lucky. I was by the phone, and I'm glad I was. But we do this for people. But like, you called me from the range, brother, and I answered all your questions. And is she running good? I haven't asked you about that.
Oh man, look, it just took me going home, man. I just wrapped everything up. I only had 150 grain bullets, so I said, look, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna clean everything. I did, and I also asked you about the process of breaking in the barrel. For y'all who don't know at home, any rifle, people would recommend that has a break-in period, or you should break in the barrel, which is a process of shooting, cleaning, shooting, cleaning, shooting, cleaning, until all the filing of the barrel has been smoothed down and giving you a smooth barrel. Because every time you shoot with that hot barrel, that copper filing is forming around the barrel, and when you shoot, that bullet is hitting those copper filings. So there's like for your first magazine or your first box, you need to shoot one time, clean, shoot clean. And Frank walked me through that whole process, and it's basically summed up to be, you will never know how good your barrel will shoot. If you clean it, you'll never know how bad it would have been if you didn't clean it. So it was just a process. To everyone out there, man, I have dropped the link to the StreamYard. I do have Cody Berg in the back, man. I'm gonna get to you in one quick second. But if you guys have any questions for federal firearms license dealer, Spirit Arms, my boy Frank, man, please drop them in the comment section now. If you feel comfortable enough with coming upon the StreamYard, we can take your face off. If not, you want to put your face up there, that's cool. But we gonna get into that very soon. My last question for the night, and then I'm gonna let the viewers ask you, man. You treated me amazing. I've never seen you in person. Only thing we've done was talk on the phone, and you just made me, my wife, you made my family just so much happy, because God, if you're on this channel, you know I love guns. If you know me, you know I love guns, man. But you made it possible for me not to actually take food out of my family's mouth in order to do something that I love. Do you treat everybody the same?
Geez, we try, man. Look, some people are kind of distant and they're a little more stoic. You're a very warm, animated person. So like, if you're receptive, yeah, you'll get the royal treatment, man. That's how we are. Some people, they just want to call up, order the part. They don't want to talk about it. Other guys have questions. They're happy I'm willing to answer them. Or if Tama can't answer it, she'll put me on the phone. Like, it depends on which one of us you get. But yeah, we treat everybody like family, brother, because that's our 80-20 thing, That's how we do it. We try to treat everybody like we would want to be treated.
Man, such amazing people over there at Spirit Arms. What's going on, Mr. Cody Berg?
Hello.
What it do, man? How you feeling tonight?
Oh, I worked a 14-hour shift, so I'm a little tired.
Whew. Done it. Sucks.
Man, hey, God bless your heart, man. Did you have any questions for Frank, man?
So, the Tama, I believe is her name.
Yep.
She So I was around on Facebook looking for a barrel because Criterion was out of stock. Somebody commented her name. She sent me a message, and you guys had a Criterion barrel in stock, so I was extremely happy about that. It is on the way. Should be here Monday.
I
So
believe I referenced your story, and I don't think I spoke to you. It's Cody.
yes.
I don't think I spoke to you, or I don't think I handled any of that for you, because Tama's pretty proficient herself with that stuff. But yes, I literally just referenced your story. That's so funny that you called in. It's crazy.
Okay. So my question is, I'm going to be looking for a bolt carrier group. What is your opinion on Toolcraft?
Toolcraft Toolcraft makes bolt carrier groups for a lot of other companies. So, there are companies like that in the industry that people don't necessarily know do that. Like, for instance, we sell tons of white label armory parts. And white label armory is not really, like, they don't advertise a lot. They don't have a big, push it out there budget. But at the end of the day, they manufacture for a lot of the great brands that most guys use. So we sell their parts directly as just WLA parts, white label armory. Okay. Toolcraft is kind of the same thing. Now, white label armory also makes their own BCGs, which we have never had a problem with either. So we sell a lot of Aero BCGs. We sell a lot of WMD BCGs. They're over here in Florida also. Really nice people there and make a great product. We sell, those are like probably the three main brands that we sell. But the white label armory is, if you're looking for a value priced BCG, because it doesn't have a big name, okay, going to be as good as a Toolcraft. I don't believe that with mil spec, unless somebody's falling down on their production, mil spec stuff is a great standard. So if people are building to a standard like mil spec, and now you're talking AR-10, so it's a little different, right? But like the guys that make BCGs for AR-15s also make BCGs for AR-10s. They're the same company, so they're using the same processes and the same qualities in both groups. You'll be very happy with if you want a more value priced one. Now, I think there are companies that sell Toolcraft direct. I don't sell Toolcraft direct. A lot of the brands we sell are made by Toolcraft. They'll make the part and maybe the company will have it coded somewhere else, so like they'll have their logo engraved on it. Like, there's something that the company will do for their part before they send it to you as their part, but it will probably have been made by Toolcraft. They make a lot of the BCGs out there. So yeah, man, whenever you're ready, we can have that conversation on the phone. And if it's a budget thing, by all means, I can get you a really good BCG that's going to be so dependable, and they're guaranteed. So, I mean, geez, we got so many great little companies that we work with that are USA companies that make a great product. Many of them have like 100% lifetime warranty. So like, how can you go wrong? I'm happy to help you with that. I'm so glad you called in though. That's so freaking weird, man. I don't know if you saw the whole show, but I just told that story about.
I tuned in about 15 minutes ago. So
that's so funny because you were referred to us from a customer from Missouri. I just told that story. That's so funny. Well, nice to finally meet you, brother.
Yep. So I will. I'll get in contact with you when I'm ready. I'm debating whether or not I want to pay bills ahead or just get it now. So I'm kind of waiting, but
not a problem, man. We're here for you. Whatever you need to do, don't worry about it. We keep Aero stuff in. There's always Aero stuff in stock. There's almost always white label armory stuff in stock. And there's always WMD in stock. So for most of those things, I don't have to go out and get it. I already have it here, unless we happen to run low or we sold them all at the gun show over the weekend, which happens. But no problem either way, bro. Whenever you're ready, we're here for you, and I'll help you with you because you're gonna need a gas system for that too, I believe, right?
So yeah, so I've been recommended a lot by Wajtec Weaponry and their under-gassed system fix.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. You're not really going to know about if you're undergassed or not until you run that gun. And Cordarius and I just hit on it a little bit. Sometimes it depends on your ammo choice. Like sometimes the ammo will have an effect on how much gas is kicking back. you know, the length. I mean, you got a rifle length set up with that Criterion barrel. I'm 90% positive, right? I think Tim
Yep.
probably told. So, yeah, you should be fine, brother. I honestly wouldn't worry about being undergassed with an 18-inch barrel and a rifle length and shooting 308, unless you're using like 147, which is like the lightest 308 ammo. I don't think you'll have a problem. And then me and Cordarius were touching on this too, because he had an issue with his 308 originally, and it was 100% Aero product. So like it's not like he was marrying different brands together and he had an issue, you know, a compatibility issue. But he needed some grease in the rear end. Like he didn't grease the buffer tube and things like that. So, and we solved this problem that way. There's a bunch of different ways. People, you know, some people don't run their stuff wet enough, and you might think it's under gas because it's not cycling, but it could be a magazine feed issue. Even if it's not loading the next round, you won't really know until we fire that baby up. But I do recommend now. Wojciech, we sell Wojciech. I know the owner of the company. I talk to Nathan all the time, and he makes a great product too. And it'll be less expensive than what we usually with 308s, like any of the AR-10 stuff. We sell a lot of superlative arms. The guys love superlative arms, but we also sell Ergo. We sell Wojciech weaponry. We sell Odin. We sell a lot of different gas blocks. I believe you should get, in my opinion, you should get an adjustable gas block for an AR-10. But like Aero doesn't make an adjustable gas block on their uppers. Not every company does. But when you're building one from scratch and you have potentially incompatible parts, you want the ability to adjust the gas.
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah. So that Wojciech, it's a great idea. We have them in stock. I don't know I think you need a 750 for that barrel. I would have to look. But you just let me know, brother. I will walk you through it. And like Cordarius just said, you have a problem at the range, call me up. We'll fix it. That's how we roll.
That sounds good.
Thanks for calling in, my friend.
Thank you.
God bless.
You too.
Appreciate you, Coda. Man, see, Angel, man, he helping people at the range, helping people right now, man. With that being said, man, Frank, do you have any Spirit Arms merch? Like,
we do. Well,
cool,
we got our shirts. We always got our shirts. Like this is our original logo. And I got it on a long sleeve. We don't usually carry the long sleeve ones.
Hey, I want that. When my Zostava come, if you can't find me one, I want that one off your back.
You ain't gonna fit in this one, brother. I sent you a 3X. Mine says BIGG's IG. It doesn't say big 2G's Glock.
Big, okay, yeah, with the GG, double G, Big Lock TV. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'll see what I can do about getting you one in the 3X. Not a problem. I know. I think we're gonna send one to your girl. I think that's what Tama. I think Tama has one in the box for your girl when you're ready.
Man, y'all been amazing, man. Do y'all? Can y'all help with ammo? I know some guys out here we may need ammo. Does Spirit Arms sell ammo?
Spirit Arms sells ammo. Spirit Arms was in the same position as most everybody else when it was a shortage. So we definitely bought stuff that was, wasn't the price we wanted to buy it for, and we sold it at the time for prices we didn't want to sell it for. But I'm currently literally filling out a dealer application with one of the bigger suppliers, and I'm hoping to be able to get a more steady supply of better price stuff so we could sell it for a more competitive pricing. We do have ammo, and if you need a couple of boxes of this, that, and the other thing, we do keep a couple of products around. We have some Hornady match grade for your, I think it's 172 for your 308. We do have some steel ammo for the Zastava. We got 5.56. We got 9mm. We got a decent range of stuff. We got some 45 here, but it's not like our primary business. But of course, we have it because we do gun shows. We have some really good defense ammo for for people who don't really have the right stuff in their carry gun.
Right,
right. The carry gun, man. People don't understand. What's in that carry gun is the most important ammo you buy.
Yes, sir.
Hands down, done, right? So there's never a lot of guys they'll they got range ammo in their gun. I'm like, brother, you shoot that. God forbid if you ever have to shoot that at a perp, it's going to go right through them, and you don't know what's standing behind them if you didn't do your homework, right? So you got to get defense ammo that's going to die in the body, And we sell a lot of Fort Scott munitions. And I encourage everybody, please go on the web, look up Fort Scott munitions. They've got reviews and product data on all of their calibers. I mean, they got 6.5 ammo that shoots 2 miles. They got 9mm that it's tumble action. So when it hits soft tissue, it just rolls. It like lifts the ballistic gel off the table. The stuff creates giant wound cavity, but it stays in your target. It doesn't come out the other side and take out.
What you want.
That's what you want. But like you could shoot through a windshield with it and it won't stop the round until it hits soft tissue when it starts to tumble. It's amazing stuff. The guys over at Fort Scott are great guys, and we do sell their product for carry ammo. And if you don't have really good carry ammo in your gun, this thing outperforms. And we sell Hornady stuff. I love Hornady and their critical defense. Everybody swears by it's the best. This is better than that, man. And nothing against Hornady. Great brand, but the way this round behaves just makes it better. So yeah, we sell their stuff. We sell it, same as you're going to buy it on the web on their website. So like we don't, our prices are right, but I always recommend that. And the reason when people come to me with their 9 at the show and they go, oh, I got 17 rounds in this thing, it weighs 5 pounds. So that, I go, look, you could get this ammo from Fort Scott Munitions. It's 80 grain weight. Where are you going to find 80 grain weight 9mm? They don't even make it. These are the only guys that make it. But think about that. If you're running 124, right, and you're buying 80 grain now, that's like 2/3 the weight of your 124.
Yes,
So like it makes your gun that much lighter when you got 17 rounds or whatever you have. Some people 20 rounds in some of the new carry guns. So like if that's the case, all these things start to add up and make sense. Now, some people are like, well, what's the stopping power at 80 grain round, for 9mm? Well, in their video, they take down a black bear with 1 round of 80 grain. So that's the tumble action that creates the stopping power. So there are different ways to skin a cat, my friend. That's why. And again, I'm not a gun guru, brother. I just told you I recently got into this business, but I'm like the kind of guy I dive in, man. I want to understand stuff. So when I see a product that makes sense for a lot of whatever the reason, sometimes it's the value, sometimes it's the quality, sometimes it's nobody else has something like this, sometimes it's just a great product that just kicks ass. I share that with my customers so they can make an intelligent decision, But I learn stuff from guys all the time. I mean, I'm not a shooter. I got great customers that are like pro shooters, man. A lot of ex-military guys. These guys are marksmen. They teach me stuff all day long, and I share that with you. When you call me with that problem, I tell you what the experts told me. So I'm not holding out. I want my customers to be happy. I had a guy call me today. He bought an upper, has to be 2 years ago, has to be. And he built it himself. It had a really cool, like dimpled barrel, badass frig. No, it was a Green Mountain barrel. It had like these concentric rings on it. Really cool, like an 11mm pistol, right? AR 15 pistol. And I think I might have built the upper. I don't even remember now, but he had a Griffin armament attachment on there that you can screw a silencer on. And here we are, a year and a half. He finally gets his silencer, right? He puts it on there, and something is not right. He says, you know what? I look in there, and it's like a little crescent, and he goes, I'm afraid they're not concentric. He goes, I don't know if it's the barrel. I don't know if it's the Griffin. He goes, and all he wanted to know was how I put it together so he could take it off, and swap it out. So like, I'm taking a question from a year and a half ago purchase, and I'm helping this guy, and I can't wait till he calls me and lets me know what happened. I'm curious to know, because I'm going to deposit that information in my brain and share it with the next person who needs it. So that's how we try to roll. I believe service doesn't end at the sale. And my dad's got a business partner that's his motto. Like, service doesn't end when the sale is done. And if you honestly believe that, and you honestly care about your customer and the product you sell like that, it comes out, man. And this is why that guy just called in, and he was referred to us by somebody that he never met. And he just, okay, I hope he's good. This guy's good. I'm trusting him, but they take a chance on us, and we try to over deliver.
man, when you take a chance on someone and it follows through, it it puts back a little faith in society. It lets you know that everyone isn't the big bad boogeyman, and people out to get you, or people out to screw you over, mess you over, man. So when people do what they say they're gonna do, hold their word, and just be honest and true, men and women, it just makes this world for a better place. But man, Frank, and I know Thelma, she's not here with you right now. She catching her Z's. For y'all don't know, Thelma is the right hand lady to Frank. They operate Spirit Arms with the best of their ability. So you'll hear that name again if you decide to work with them in the future. But Frank and Thelma are the partners that deal with Spirit Arms LLC. With that being said, Frank, how can my people find you? How can the people who will view this chat or view this a year, a day, a week from now, how can people find Spirit Arms? What websites you got?
Well, I think we're pretty easy to find. You can go to spiritarms.net. Now, our website will have our contact information. I encourage everybody, please call us. Everything we sell isn't on that website. Even though there's stuff on that website we won't sell here out of the ranch, we do have stuff on that website that I've never even seen in person. Okay. But there's definitely things that aren't on that website that we also sell. And a lot of that is, whether it's parts or whatever, it's just, it doesn't feed through that process. So if you got a question, if something's not on there, if it's something that you want, especially parts, man, like, geez, I help people with parts. Like, I learned so much from customers who call me with specific guns that have a specific part that I've never even heard of. I never even built a 1022, but I know it's got like 9 parts. Why aren't people building more 1022s, man? It's easy to build. But you know what? I learned things from my customers' questions. Because stuff isn't on the website, they'll call us. But if they don't know they can call us, they just move on to another website and keep looking. I could solve the problem if you give me a call most of the time. Sometimes we can't, but sometimes it's just a matter of me making a call for somebody. And I did it for a guy the other day. He called up. He had a SIG MPX, I think, and he needed, I forgot what he needed. Oh, the weirdest thing, brother. Now, SIG makes a great product. He needed a butt pad for his MPX. He's like, I don't understand, man. It's practically like a safe queen. I hardly ever shoot the thing. He goes, but I took it out the other day and it's kind of fraying along the butt pad. And I go, that's really weird, man. Everything I got, every handgun I have is a SIG. I love the product, right? I was like shocked, man. Don't forget, I'm BIGG's IG, man. Right?
So, man, I need a Wilson Combat. I need a Wilson module. I need a Wilson Combat grip module, but as you know, the SIG P320, the M18 has the ambidextrous magazine. The ambidextrous safety.
Yes.
So some of the grip modules are coming without that. So I need that actual pin for the back that will get rid of my safety and make it smooth in the back. So now I can accept different grip modules.
Why don't I just get you the grip module that comes, because they make them both ways. The Wilson Combat comes with or without the safety on the grip module. So I can order you the right one and then you go.
See, man, that's why I love them, right there.
Well, but this guy was finish quick story. The guy, he could not get an answer from anybody about this butt stock thing. So it was at the gun show. I was like, brother, do me a solid. Call me during the week when I'm not at the gun show, because right now it's a gun show, and Palm Beach County has one of the best gun shows, I'm sure, in the country. It's a mosh pit in there. And I'm like, but I will help you. So he called on Tuesday after the gun show. And I said, you know what? I've never heard of this problem, but I am pretend to know everything. The gun was 10 years old. I wasn't even in the business back then. I call up my rep. He goes, oh, yeah, that happens a lot. He does have to send it in, but we'll fix it for him. so the guy's been breaking his nuts trying to find this thing for months, and he can't get an answer. and I made one phone call, and sometimes it's not necessarily the question until you're asking the question too, you know. So like if you ask the right people, sometimes you get the right answer. And because I'm in the industry, I kind of knew who to ask, and I knew he was going to give me a straight poop, and I got the right answer. And I told the guy, I said, look, call this number, ask for this guy. They're going to tell you where to send it, and they will fix it for you. And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe you found out how to do it. Stuff like that. And I don't make a nickel on that, but I got somebody who knows that we care, who's going to refer us to his friends. And it just happens over and over and over again. And like stuff like Wilson Combat stuff, I love SIG stuff. So I know I just literally and we're bringing it to the gun show. I just got in the Wilson Combat 365 grip module, bro. They just started making that.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen those. Those are nice. I gotta get me, because as you know, the SIG P320 is a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger than the P365. And I mean, now it's getting cold. I feel like I wouldn't need it. I've been rocking gym shorts and sweatpants all summer with a damn full size carry.
Dude.
With a belly. So, you know, I need to get me some smaller. But man, that's gonna be next on my list. So once I finish paying off the Zostava, as you know, man, I'm gonna hit you up and we're gonna do something else. I had two things going with you at one time. Yeah. I had the rest of my upper boat carrier group, and the charging handle was about $900 for that damn 308. So I had over $1,500 of stuff with you. I paid for my my boat carrier group. You sent it all to my doorstep, man, and you put the biggest smile on my face, man. And that wouldn't have been possible without you. So I appreciate you for being an honest, a genuine, and a stand-up guy. What are your closing words to the viewers here on Big Lock TV, man? Because this thing is coming to an end. So the stage is yours, Frank. Let us know, man.
Well, all right. So I told you we got a website. You can also find us on Facebook at FIREARMS LLC. That's how you find us on there. We have an Instagram too, and Tama doesn't ride that too often, but we do put stuff on Instagram if we got a cool picture, something custom for a customer or something. By all means, you can find us any of those ways. Pretty simple. Geez, I mean, bro, I tell you, anybody goes on our FB page, you're going to see our customers are posting stuff on there. It's pretty active. I mean, I used to post a lot on there, but I just don't have the time now. In the beginning, when we weren't as busy and I was really trying to get this going, I was posting a lot of informative things, new product reviews, stuff like that. I just don't have time for now, but I will answer questions. And if Tama gets a question on like she does the social media stuff, she gets a question, I'll jump in and help her if she needs help with it, you know, to get an answer for the customer. But we do have our contest on there now with those triggers I showed you guys earlier in the thing. Everybody's got to get in this contest. It's a great trigger. MSRP is like $235 for that trigger.
Yes.
You're gonna love that trigger, man. It's a CMC match grade. So like they make great products. Charlie's gone. He died, I think, a year and a half ago. But his company lives on, and they've always made great triggers. And he's one of the legends in 1911 shooting. The guy's brilliant, but their AR-15 stuff is also great. You'll be very happy with it. But it's free, so get on and try to win it. So they got to like and subscribe your page. They got to like and follow, I think, the FB thing. There you go, on our page. And I know somebody's going to be very happy when they win. And you get a choice of flat or curved. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Let's see. 75% of all people are caused by accidents, so please drive carefully. And thank you for the opportunity to get on here and pimp my stuff, brother. I love talking to people, and I love sharing knowledge. And I think that that it was really nice of you to offer this to us. I believe in your product. I think your show is great, and I think it's fun. I think you're so down to earth, like people, some of these gun dudes, man, they got latitude, and it's like, I don't get why they're like that, but they do have a latitude, and some of these guys earn that, because, they served our country, and God bless them for that, man. I appreciate that. We all do. Like, we love our guys that they come to us, and it's like, we find out they're ex-military, and we just do whatever we can, for them. But at the end of the day, you know, some people are more easy to get with, and you're very comfortable to talk to. So I really enjoyed doing this. Had a lot of fun. I think you did too, which is cool. I hope your fans and listeners or watchers, viewers, whatever it is, like what we put out there for us today. And you know, we'll see. I know you're gonna be doing something because I sent you something the other day. You talk about that next time. Oh, he's got it. He's got it in his pocket.
I got it right here.
Oh, God bless you,
Got it right here, man. Oh man, shout out to Frank, man. Frank sent me this 100% American-made company, single stage, flat, not curved, flat drop-in trigger from James Madison Tactical, man. This is gonna go in that 308 we was just talking about, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
so happy you're putting it in that because look, the Aero Mil Spec 308 trigger it's okay, but you know, I mean, you could polish it and up the quality a little bit, but dude, you put that JMT in there. It's a great USA company. Their tolerance, like Mil Spec tolerance, is 3,000th of an inch. Their tolerance is 1/6 of that, so it's tighter than Mil Spec tolerance. That's a great product, and it's a pretty good value. It's like a $99 trigger, brother, but it's going to shoot like a $180 trigger. I guarantee you're going to love that trigger. And I think I forget. I don't know if Tema was watching one of your episodes, and you're like, man, I hope I can get. I want to get a drop-in trigger. And I think she told me about that, and I was like, you know what, get Kodera, see if he wants a flat or a curve. And I just ordered that in from the guys at JMT. And I talked to Dan about it, and he said, you know, if you're talking about my product, just make sure people know that like the tolerance on it is incredibly tight. So he wanted me to say that in case, or he wanted me to tell you to say that. I didn't know I would be on here talking about it, but he wanted me to tell you that. But
Man,
you're gonna love it.
I've been sitting here just kind of, you know, playing with it just a little bit, just trying to see what it'll do. I got to drop it in the gun, and of course, man, I want to do a full what my gun was like before. Because if y'all out there in the 308 game, the bolt carrier group, the barrel, and the buffer tube and the trigger matters. If you're going for a long range precision gun and you have an 8 or you have a mil spec trigger, those groups can be so much better if your gun breaks when you want it to break. So something like a single stage or a double stage trigger is really gonna push you to that moment, man. And a lighter trigger at that, man. So Frank, man, this couldn't have been more perfect timing. I really hate you sent it now because I'm gonna spend some money. I'm gonna spend some money trying to see exactly how great this thing runs, man. But shout out to James Madison Tactical. They got the anti-walk pins, man.
Do you have any blue Loctite, brother?
Yes, sir, I do. You know I do.
So what I do is I put one screw on one side of that anti-rotation pin. I put a little, like one dab of Loctite, blue Loctite on there, screw it in, let it sit for a bit, do both pins, and then as you're knocking out the mil spec pin, this goes in right behind it, and then you just put a little Loctite on the screw on the other side and screw that in. Done.
Man,
it just makes it easy because some people they take out their other trigger. Sometimes you might have to. It depends on the gun. Honestly, it's not the same.
I already know. Might have to remove the handle.
The safety, because you got to pull the safety. You might not have to if you can get it on there. Again, every gun is a little bit different. That mil spec 3,000ths of an inch makes a big difference sometimes, but AR-10s aren't even mil spec. So you don't know what you're going to have in that void. Aero is usually pretty tight, so you'll get it in there, but you might have to take the safety out. Hopefully you won't have to, the safety selector.
Man, I'm gonna get it done, man. I just, the way this feels in my hand, like the weight of it is just, it feels right. It feels like it's just good quality. It got a little groove right here on the end for the trigger, man. That little part feels amazing, man. I can't wait to see how this thing breaks inside of the 308.
Yeah, well, when you do that, if you're gonna do a review on it, let me know when you do it, and I'll send it to Dan. I don't know if he'll put it on his page or whatever. I don't think he needs any more reviews on his product. It's been around for a while.
Hey, I saw that. I saw it. I said, let me type it in on YouTube and see who else was out here with a JMT. And
You got the new generation. That's the thing. So like a lot of those are the older generation. The newer generations, it's even tighter and even better. He said,
"This is the Black Ops Evo."
Yeah, Evo. That's what he called it. I forget what the name of it was, but we sell a lot of those at the show, man. People love that trigger, and I'm telling you, this is one of those things like we talked about. Like I'll suggest something that's value added for a better price, and people love that. You know, like I'm not trying to sell them the most expensive trigger on the table. We got beautiful Elfman tactical triggers for like $260. They're gorgeous triggers and they're amazing triggers, adjustable down to like 2.75 pounds. I mean, you can't want for anything if you got that Elfman trigger, but not everybody's rolling in there with $300 to drop on a trigger either, you know?
Hey, who you telling, man? I think this company here is gonna stand up to some of the other great names that we know of in the trigger industry, including Geisley, Timney, CMC, LaRue, man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, but we'll all find out next, man. Frank, it's been a blessing talking to you, man.
You too, my friend.
It's been amazing interviewing you. If there's any last minute questions, man, we finna let Frank go, man. We finna let Frank get some rest because we got some guns to sell in the morning. We got some parts that got to get out. Hopefully, some of you guys want to deal with Frank and Thelma here at Spirit Arms, and hopefully, some of the guys from the panel tonight, hopefully, they'll be hitting up that number, going on that website, chatting with them on that Facebook page. And like they said, they don't get to the Instagram as much, but they do check in from time to time. But your best bet is calling or getting in contact with them on Facebook.
Yeah,
man, I appreciate everybody from jumping through on the chat tonight. Frank, I'm gonna let you get your final words in, man, and I'm gonna let you go.
God bless you, man. We're gonna see a lot of you guys at the West Palm Gun Show this weekend. I know we're meeting guys who are picking up parts, and we love doing that show. We never could do those shows because when COVID was around, they literally cut the show in half because they widened the aisles with the 6 foot spacing and then blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But now that they lifted all that stuff, now we could finally get in the show. So we're actually in the show for like the last 6 months, and it's been great. We're starting to get like regular people that we recognize and we know. So it's kind of like it's our local show. It's the only one we do. It's the only one we need to do because it's a lot. It's a big show and it's a lot of fun. So we'll see a lot of you guys there. And it's I hope the weather's going to work for us. And when it's crappy weather, people come to the gun show. God bless you guys. Nice meeting you all. And Cordarius, always a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to hearing your review on that trigger too. Peace out, my brother.
Hey man, peace, man. I pray everybody's safe out there in Florida, man. I know the hurricane has left a lot of people without homes. So shout out and prayers to to Florida, man. But thank you, Frank.
You're welcome, my friend. Prayers for our people out here. There are a lot of people suffering, a lot, and some of my customers too. So I know that's true, and I'm remiss for forgetting to mention that. But thanks for bringing that up.
Man,
take care.
I've got to think about the people, man. Appreciate you, Frank. Take it easy.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Man, that was a live. That was Frank. I know he looked like Johnny Depp, but that was my boy Frank with Spirit Arms LLC. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out on Instagram. Check them out. He gave you his personal number. You don't call him late at night. Let the man get some rest, but that's his personal number. If any of you guys want to reach out to that man, he'll do anything he can to help you. As long as you prove you good people, man. With that being said, this has been Big Lock TV. That was my first interview with an amazing person. I couldn't have had this live without you guys asking great questions, great feedback. Man, make sure before y'all leave, y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment, and we're going to end it right there, man. It's been Big Lock TV. Y'all be safe, be easy, be blessed.